What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 3 wide receiver rankings. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I will respond to every single comment. If you're like, should I start this running back or this wide receiver, this quarterback versus a tight end? Not quarterback versus a tight end, but am I going to be playing this quarterback versus this quarterback, this tight end versus this tight end, whatever it may be? Put those in the comment section. I will respond. We post rankings every week. We already came out with buy low, sell highs. We also have waiver wire every week. Everything you need to stay ahead of those league ranks. So hit that subscribe button. Let's dive into these half-point PPR rankings. Number 1, we got CD Lamb. He plays Chicago today. Not today. Today is a Wednesday. But he plays Chicago. Good matchup for him. They've been really banged up in the secondary. I expect him to be awesome. 2, Malik and Nabers. He plays Kansas City. One of the best wide receivers in football, if not, top. I put him top 3 talent-wise, Malik Nabers. You take quarterback and everything out of there, but I'm not scared away from that Kansas City matchup. 3, Puka Nacua. Tough matchup for him against Philly, but he's a star, and they're going to need him. 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown coming off on a monster game. He gets Baltimore, and one they'll need to score some points for sure. 5, Nico Collins. Brighter days are ahead for him. Still very confident in Nico, and this is a good matchup for him as they play Jacksonville. Had that touchdown in this last game. 6, Justin Jefferson. I've lowered my expectations for him season long. I still think he's a good receiver, but there's certainly some complications in that quarterback room right now with the McCarthy injury and Wentz starting. Cincinnati's a good matchup on paper, though, so he's still a good play. At 7, we've got Jamar Chase. I think this is probably going to be pretty similar to where Chase is most weeks. I don't think the Minnesota matchups helps Jake Browning at all this first week starting. They bring complex blitz packages, things like that. But Jamar Chase still gets the volume. He's super talented, and you're going to play him. Drake London plays Carolina. Great matchup for Drake. He should be good for fantasy. Brian Thomas Jr., I still have in my top 10 as they play Houston and Derek Stingley. The volume's there. He's super talented, and he has the speed to make his day in one single play. It's something we got to remember with some of these explosive players. 10, Zay Flowers against Detroit. I think his volume has been pretty legit so far this year. I expect that to continue as long as Isaiah Likely is out. And even when he's back, we've just seen a lot. I think some things change in his offense. Lamar is legit throwing the ball. So I'd say to be pretty good season long. At 11, we got Devontae Adams, same matchup against Philly. I expect him to be a good play. He had that touchdown last week, and Matthew Stafford was looking his way. Jackson Smith in the Jigba gets good target volume. Solid matchup against New Orleans. Rome Odunze, he's been balling lately. He gets Dallas. I do believe he's number 1 wide receiver on that team. We said that a lot coming into the season. DJ Moore is just a gadget guy. A.J. Brown against the Rams. He hasn't got the target volume we maybe have hoped for, but I still think brighter days are ahead. A.J. Brown's an absolute star. They've extended him. They paid him money and money and money. They're going to get A.J. Brown the rock, and he's not the guy that can sit around forever and not get it and not say anything. Mike Evans at 15. They play the Jets. Much better matchup this week for Evans than last week when he had Derek Stingley to deal with. 16, DK Metcalf against New England. Target volumes there. Expect another good game for DK. 17, Jacoby Myers. Loved what I've seen from Geno Smith and Jacoby Myers. I just think this is going to be a combination that's going to win for fantasy season long. 18, Garrett Wilson. He plays Tampa Bay. I think Justin Fields is going to be back in this one, but we'll have to see and monitor that. If he's not, it lowers it a bit, but Justin Fields isn't the best quarterback to begin with for supporting wide receivers. 19, Tyreek Hill against Buffalo. Saw him have his first 30-yard catch, first 100-yard game this last week. I am back in, at least at this range. In this matchup against Buffalo, I just think they'll have to throw the ball a whole lot, so I think Tyreek will be able to get it done. I'm not too scared by that Buffalo defense either in the secondary. 20, Cortland Sutton against the Chargers. Sutton is going to be good for fantasy. It just hasn't happened yet. But again, when you look at the receivers in that depth chart, he will get the ball. 21, Jameson Williams had the long touchdown this last week. He's been playing a ton of snaps, which I love for his profile. And he gets those deep targets down the field. I think that continues, and they'll need him in this one against Baltimore. 22, Ladd McConkey. He plays Denver. Tough matchup, but Ladd's a stud and Justin Herbert is, and we saw it. Daniel Jones go in and just shred Denver. So Lowered them a little bit in my rankings as of right now. 23, Teteroa McMillan. Plays Atlanta. He's made some crazy catches. So, yeah, you're going to keep rolling out Teteroa. Keenan Allen, again, I think he's a really good play. He might struggle a little bit more in this Denver matchup than he has in some of these other ones. But, again, he's going to have a decent chance at touchdown every week with how prolific Justin Herbert is, and he's getting solid target volume every week. 25, George Pickens, another guy. We saw the targets go up. He's leading the league in penalty yards. He's getting those deep targets. He's got a much better quarterback than Dak Prescott. The Chicago secondary is a little weak right now, so I think these are pointing up for him. Emeka Puka against the Jets. Again, 3 touchdowns so far this year. I expect good things to continue for him. I thought he'd hit the ground running. Just don't expect the same kind of target volume, but I said this after week 1. He kind of reminds me of Calvin Ridley, his rookie year. He had right around 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. 27, Deebo Samuel against Vegas. He's been the number 1 wide receiver on the team. I expect him to continue to be productive for fantasy football, even if Jayden Daniels is a little banged up as a runner. 28, Marvin Harrison Jr. It hasn't been what you hoped, and this is a tougher defensive matchup. I just don't know if Kyler's going to be able to get him the ball over the middle where he needs it. And, yeah, I think it's just kind of a cluster there right now. 29, Devonta Smith. Part of the reason I have him this high, that Goddard bump. Whenever Goddard doesn't play, Devonta Smith usually performs a lot better. This last week, not so much. But, again, you stick with the process. Goddard's out. Devonta Smith should be a pretty solid play. 30, Terry McLaurin against Vegas. I think the long week off will help McLaurin get more acclimated, and it's a good matchup where we need to see him be productive for that team to take it to the next level. 31, Xavier Worthy against the Giants. I expect him to play. He'll be banged up, but in this one, I'm going to roll him out there. Need the upside that he can give you as maybe the only show in town in that Chiefs passing game. 32, T. Higgins, Minnesota. The target volume should still be there. Even though the quarterback gets worse, but I think he's got a great chance of catching a touchdown, just with his profile and things like that. Had the big play last week with Browning as well. 33, Quentin Johnston. He plays Denver. We've seen him have those big plays. He's a weekly play now. You can go out there and roll him in. There's going to be games where he's 3 for 30 or 2 for 30. But you're going to get those games, too, where he's 4 for 110 and a touchdown, and you're super happy. 34, Calvin Ridley against Indy. I think Cam Moore's look pretty darn good, and I think brighter days are ahead for Ridley. 35, DJ Moore against Dallas. I do think he's more of a gadget player this year. I'm not super believe in Caleb Williams. So that's why I have him at 35. 36, Jalen Waddle. They should have to throw a lot in this one, so expect Waddle to maybe be able to get a productive day off of garbage time. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.